All right. We are live for another recording of the Managing Partners podcast. I'm joined today with a special guest, Tariq Najee-ullah. Welcome. Thanks for coming on the show. Excited to learn about your story. Tariq and I actually have spoken in the past before, so I know quite a bit about his business, but he's going to share that with us today. Hopefully you managing partners out there, whether you're running a firm for many years or you're looking to start your own firm, I think you'll enjoy Tariq's story. So Tariq, let's get started. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay, so thanks you again, Kevin, for having me on the Managing Partner podcast. It's an honor to be here. Again, my name is Tariq Najee-ullah, and I am an entrepreneur in the legal space. I am a fully registered patent agent, and I believe in making the world a better place by helping people with innovation. To share about my story, I started my company, Patent Insider, back in August of 2017, and it was done to help inventors, innovators, business owners, to help secure their intellectual property and their competitive advantage using patents. Now, I made this decision after working as 10 years inside the patent office as a patent examiner. And so all the patents and applications and inventions come across my desk, and I was responsible for reviewing them and determining whether or not something was patentable, whether or not there would be a granted patent. And during that time, I processed hundreds and hundreds of patent applications. But the decision to actually, like for many of us, to go into entrepreneurship, why would you leave a stable government job to then jump out into entrepreneurship? For me, it was done in a period of my life where there's a lot of turmoil. So I had a college roommate from a study abroad program that was murdered in a carjacking back in, I think, of like December of 2015. And that was really rocky because I knew this person, lived with them, and it was just senseless. There's no rhyme or reason. It was one of those things in the news you just shake your head. And then right after that, I lost my father-in-law, who was a really big part of my family. So I was going through personal loss. And then in that same year, that next year, 2016, I lost my grandmother, and I had my son. My third child was born. So all of this is going on, and I'm having these ups and downs, and I'm wondering what really matters, what's the purpose, what's the reason for everything. And during that time, I really focused on what was really important. And I said, I don't want to live this life that's temporary without really doing something that I feel passionate about. And for me, I had these episodes as a patent examiner where I was sitting inside my office, talking with an attorney, usually about an application. And my goal was always to give my all to, we have a certain number of hours we could allocate to a certain patent matter or application. And I would give my all to it. I read it all. I try to understand it. I do extra research, look up the invention if it's on a website. I try to get the inventor's perspective. Then I'd put my patent examiner hat on and have the legal perspective and evaluate. And then I reach out to the attorney if I found anything. And I say, look, I understand what you're trying to do, but your language is not, close enough. Let's, if you make this tweak, I think you have a patent here. I do that in the very beginning. I'd reach out to them. And time again, I would get the answer that I either get no answer, or I'd get, I'll take it back to the client and see what they want to do. Or they would just tell me, yeah, the client's not really interested in that. Again, what client is not interested in protecting their intellectual property and getting a patent, immediately, as opposed to waiting 3 to 5 years, which was the average at that time. So I had one of those calls that went really bad, where the representative pretty much told me, I think I had this conversation with them earlier. It was later, maybe years later in the case. Like I said, I was there 10 years. And they're calling back saying, can we get that patent again? You indicated, 3 or 4 years ago that this was a good idea. Can we do that? And the time it changed, and that was no longer an opportunity. And I said, wow, people are coming with their visions, their hopes, their dreams, and they're not getting the best. And so I made a decision at that moment that I could do a better job of getting, patent results for startups, for business owners and innovators. I knew that I had a unique experience as an insider. I knew there were insights and efficiencies and advantages that I could offer that typically weren't being given to the general public that needed them. And so we started our company. I took the patent bar. I got certified as a registered patent agent. So I have a limited legal practice that's focused on patents. So I don't have a state bar where I can work outside of the patent office. So it's very focused to patents and U.S. and international representation for patents. And so we started off as a patent contractor for various law firms. And then I actually found a really great firm in Atlanta. I had a great relationship for about 2.5 years. Still have a good relationship with that firm. And then we committed to really digging in and doing the work of building our own practice. And, over adding all of it together, since we started in 2017, we've helped our clients with about, over 150 patent matters. We've granted, dozens of patents for them, both domestically and internationally, and, all over the world in various jurisdictions, Europe, Russia, China, to name a few, the EU, and of course, U.S. patents. And so we try to put our clients' kind of best interests over just a billable hour. We're trying to look at how we can get them to their goal.
I love the story. I love the background. I mean, some tragedy, of course, in the story. But I love, why you're doing what you're doing and that you made a decision to do something different. And I think also just about your business, which what I like is that you're focused, you're niched in a particular thing. And then also, I have a, kind of a soft spot for startups. I've been part of a lot of startups myself. I'm part of a technology community here in my area. And I've been part of startups and companies, or at least in conversations with others plenty of times about protection, patents, and things like that. And everyone seems to be kind of not really knowledgeable or know what the process is or how long it takes. I feel like people know enough just to discourage themselves from actually pursuing with the idea. Like, oh, well, I heard it takes like 3-5 years. It's going to cost you $20,000, whatever. But they're kind of discouraged in themselves, when they should probably reach out to someone like yourself and get some better information and see if they have a viable idea. But so I love what you're doing. I like the name. I like kind of the, and that you have the insider information. You literally worked in the patent office, and I think that makes you definitely unique. So.
Definitely. I think appreciate that. Over the years, I mean, we've seen a lot of business scenarios. We've received tons of questions about startups, patents, and innovation. A lot of people are like, is a patent right for our startup? We have to, you can't just figure that out by Google. You need to ask somebody. Does getting a patent make us profitable? A patent is not good for everybody. Is it worth the investment? It does cost money. It's one of the more sizable IP investments to get a patent. But what's your 3 to 5 year valuation? If your 3 to 5 year valuation is 7 figures, then it may be worth investing 5 to 6 figures in a footprint to protect what your value is, your growth trajectory. So it's not a one-off kind of thing. It's an all inclusive. We at Patent Insider, we make sure that our IP strategy is tailored to your vision and your goals. We also have a network. We work in this field. I mean, I've been in it at this point 15 years, just about. So we know people in the VC or venture capital world. We know patent licensing companies. We know manufacturers. We know about crowdfunding. We know people who deal with cryptocurrency. We can answer the question.
All that stuff.
Yeah. If you're like, do I get a patent before raising money? What about blockchain and crypto? Is that something that's innovative enough? Can you just add blockchain to something that's already known when I get you a patent? We can answer those questions with our experience. We have blockchain patents that we've gotten for people, for software companies and startups. We also
very cool.
And we also, we can answer the question: can your idea make money? In a way that's measured based on due diligence. We can't answer that question based on our emotion. We try to really do what the data tells us. The data tells us, like, we start off with a patent search. We do an assessment. Is this something that can be patentable? before you get, bent out of shape about how much it costs, well, there's an entry level cost to just do due diligence and find out where you are. So that's our approach really to everything. And, we can get into more about, I guess, the types of, we have different buckets or different types of clients that we partner with to work with to help them. And they're different kind of, I say like maybe 4 different stories, but I saw you wanted to.
Oh, no. No, I think what you said too there is important, is that you have connections, you have a network, and I think I try to be that resource too, and I'm trying to get my whole company to be more of that resource. Is if we have a client, not only can we do your marketing and websites and stuff like that, but we have relationships with legal partners, accountants, all kinds of other types of agencies, branding agencies, stuff like that we can connect you with as well. So it's not just what you get with us, but if we know people that can help you, we want to be a resource for that too. And some of the things that you had mentioned, any startup would line up, I think, to say, I want to work with Patent Insider because all those things you mentioned, venture capitalists, investors, those are hard contacts to have and to get a hold of. So finding those people that have a network like that, and if your company can offer that too, I think along the way, then that's a huge advantage.
Well, so. I think that's. We're in the really from the way we look at it. Any business is in a relationship business. You're in a business of connecting people and helping people, and you're also sorting through the people that you're part of. Marketing is creating the magnet to get people, the right people, in the right frame of mind at the right time, in front of you, so you can help each other. And in the sorting process, some people are not a right fit. You can still help guide them to where they need to go. And I think that's we come 100%. At it with that more holistic approach. We're not just like, oh, you're either coming to me and you're helping me, or I can help you, and we just throw you away. No, we still try to steer you in the right direction. So even if someone comes to a consultation, they'll leave with more than the value of whatever the cost of the consultation would be, because they're going to get. We're not just selling our services. We're looking at what's your goals, what's your vision, and what's the best IP strategy for you. It may be not to go with Patent Insider, and that's okay.
Yeah, totally agree with that too. We niche in law firms, so we only work with law firms and people like yourself. So, but I still get leads every day for construction companies or government contracting companies, and I still accept those leads. I call them, I email them, I talk to them, and then I refer them to various agencies that might be the best fit for them that I have relationships with, and I'll tell them what I think they should do. Here's what you probably need, here's the agency you should probably look at, and here's the kind of products I think you need, because I have come from that background where we used to work with various clients, and we have a sheet where I can pull up and say, who do we recommend for photography, or maybe it's just they do the same thing as us, it's just we niche in law.
Right.
So yeah, I try to help out anybody and say, hey, just let's have the call. I will give you good information regardless if you work with us or not. And that's if it's a law firm that reaches out, it doesn't mean they're going to sign up with us or that we're the right fit for them. It's a good chance they might be a better fit for someone else. So, but I'm still going to walk them through that, help them, and then refer them out to somebody else if I have to. So, real quick, anyone tuning in, please ask any questions. Tariq is a wealth of knowledge here, so anyone listening that has any questions about patents, I'm sure Tariq will be happy to help. So ask those questions here, and I'll get those in front of him to answer.
Yeah, ask me anything. I think that's what they call AMAs, right?
Yeah.
I always think American Music Awards, but no, AMA is asking me anything nowadays on the hashtag. So
it's also AMA is also the American Marketing Association.
Okay, so it's a lot of AMAs. In this instance, we're saying AMA is asking me anything.
That's right.
Tell
us a little bit about the types of clients that you were mentioning. So the types of clients that you would help. You said there's kind of like, I guess, different categories or buckets. Right. You said, yeah.
Right. So we have a team we started off initially when I started off, I said we'd help you secure your intellectual property with patents. As long as you had an idea for a patent, it didn't matter if you were in the basement, in a basement event or in your garage. If you were a government contractor, if you were a company, if you're an enterprise level company, we weren't that differentiated when we started out. Now, what I say is that we secure patents for startups, business owners, and innovators and creators devoted to protecting their intellectual property. What this means is that they're usually startups that are Series A, Series B, or they're funded. They have something that's worthwhile investing in a patent. It's not just an idea, something that's maybe tested, something that's valued. They have investors. The founders are still part of the company. That level of companies is what we're looking to help them through the process. We streamline, manage, and develop enterprise level patent portfolios for enterprise level companies. So if there's a Fortune 500, Fortune 100 company, that they usually, in those companies, they have a in-house counsel. They have a general counsel that will manage the thousands or hundreds of patents and trademarks and everything, but they pretty much outsource the details and they manage that. And so we'll take a sliver of those or a part of that portfolio, depending on the size, maybe the whole portfolio, and we'll manage that for them. Work with their R&D team, their engineers, and have regularly schedule either quarterly meetings or monthly meetings, depending on what their vision, their goals. Again, we align with their vision, their objectives, and we work out a plan, customized plan for them. And then we help them, meet their patent goals. And then I would say there's something we do a little bit differently, which is we perform high quality, focused, and targeted patent research for patent holders and or infringing parties. So I started out as a patent insider myself, but I have relationships with tons of former patent examiners and people that for a living all they've done is patent research. And so we have a team right now of 12. And we're adding more, but all of us have that experience, and so you can get the experience you get from hiring the patent office. You can't really hire the patent office to do this, so you get these former patent examiners with this deep insider knowledge, and we're able to apply that for patentability assessments, for freedom to operate searches, and so I would say this has been our 2021 pivot, kind of from the mom and pop inventor and the small business and government contractor. We still have that as that's a major part of our business, and we built a very good business from that. But we also have these other clients that we service in these different areas. And I'll say the last one, which was I would say more like a niche of one of these, is like people that are dealing with commercialization. So you have a lot of tech transfer, or people that say the government has a patent and they'll put it up in SBIR or some type of grant, and a company's doing that technology. Maybe out of that experience they're developing other technology, and so we'll work with them in that particular space. That's more commercialization or commercialization analysis. They company that's looking for an exit or a buyout. They'll want to do. They'll have their patent evaluated or appraised. But what we do is we look more so at the commercial value of where can you operate this patent. So we'll do searches to find out which countries or jurisdictions that you could get a patent for this, or you can apply your patent rights. So it's a very niche part of these other groups. If they get to a certain phase, they need a different type of patent research. So we'll do that as well.
Interesting. So I think it's good that what you have identified, I guess, and we do the same way. There's a certain ideal client, an ideal customer, and when you start out, it's usually the smaller, the startups, anyone that can give us time of day to try to help them.
Right.
And when I started my business, I love helping startups, and I had that even highlighted on my website. We help startups with websites, and it got me to that next stage. But at some point, you start to identify what's the client that I can really help, and we can put energy and resources into, and then I can actually run my business on. And you start to kind of identify what size they are, what if they're funded or not, things like that. So that's great that you've already got to that next stage, and you've started to kind of identify, your ideal customer, what they look like, and then that's where marketing can come in to say, okay, how do we find more of those? And we now have a profile of the types of companies that we want to get in front of course. So, and everything, your website, your language, the text, content, does it speak to those people? Does it resonate with them? That's excellent.
Yeah, that's you start where you start, but it's not where you finish, and that's also true of the clients that we have. I have, it's wonderful to say that someone started in their basement or with an idea with their brother-in-law, and now they're have an international company. They have international patent portfolio. They're meeting with some of the biggest agencies and companies internationally to get their product promoted and implemented for use. That's amazing, and that can happen. So it's really, we believe that when we connect with our clients, it's a mutual choice where we're going into, creating a relationship together that, we're doing everything we can to help them be successful. And that's our goal, that we're part of that success. Some people, they have other things that happen. They kind of drop off. They're not able to continue the course. But it's not, business is not a straight line. It's unpredictable oftentimes, even with the best laid plans and goals and strategies. I'm sure nobody predicted what last year, that was not on anybody's plan or radar. So.
Yeah, no way. Not at all. And I think, business is challenging. There's ups, there's downs. And, I think, I assume you're the same way as me, is the journey is really the exciting part. And, what's to come, you don't know, but you do your best work for your clients, take care of the people around you, and you navigate the best you can. So, but it's good to surround yourself with good people, build relationships, have good clients, I think. And I think that's where another thing too, like it's okay to say no to a client that on paper looks like a good customer or good client, but for whatever reason it's just not a fit, right? So it's not worth the pain and suffering and headache if they're not going to be a happy customer no matter what. It's not a right fit. So
that's true. I think, and that's okay. I think that's part of it. Like we've had people where, it's not something I don't necessarily would hang our hat on necessarily, but people, some people don't fit, and some people, even if you have to give some, partial refund or anything like that, you just want to make sure that the experience, if it's not a fit, that's part of the experience. We've figured that out. Go to the next situation, and maybe help you find somebody else. But I think the main thing is that our concern is making sure that if you come to us with a problem, you come to us with where you are, that we help you get to the next step. Now, sometimes that means us, running to the finish line with you. Other times that means just getting to the next step, like passing a baton, and you grow to a different situation. Sometimes you get a big investor that buys out your idea. They have their own, international huge firms that's going to take care of some of the things that we would do. So, and that's part of the process, part of the journey, like you said. So we, our biggest thing is to really, answer our clients' questions. If they have a question, they can reach out to us, and to be there to help them as far as their intellectual property is concerned, their strategy, that our strategy and our activities, our efforts match their vision and goals. And if we have to pivot, we pivot, and we help them achieve what they're looking for. And I love to listen when they get a patent in their hand. It's an amazing accomplishment. So.
Yeah, so that's got to be nice to be like, you got the patent, and you get to let the client know that. Just a random question from me. What's the typical timeline to get a patent, if there is an answer for that?
So that it varies.
Maybe best case to worst case.
Right. So best case is 12 to 18 months in the U.S. The U.S. has an expedited program that allows you to get a patent. And they also have agreements the U.S. has agreements with other countries. So if you get a patent in the U.S. And you have a pending patent, in another country, if that country is part of the agreement, you can then accelerate that patent based on the grant in the U.S. So then another 12 to 18 months. That's the best case, 12 to 18 months. And the lowest I've gotten is like 11 months from the date of filing to a patent. Like I had a guy, he filed last year in July. He got a patent last month, June.
Wow.
And so,
even with COVID going on, I was surprised. With
COVID, and he's going to do the international filing because he got the patent grant before the international. You have 1 year to file international. So he got the patent grant before the 1 year date, but we're filing the international later this month. So I think, that's the best case. Average, if you don't do anything, you just kind of file, let it sit with the U.S., you're looking at, right now it takes 24 months to 30 months before they even respond to you. So you're looking at, once they respond, it's the same timeline. You're looking at, 12 to 24 months, I guess, from receiving a response from the office. When you expedite, they respond more quickly. You get, something in, 30 days to earliest 30 days, no later than 90 days from filing. So
at that point, then it's about 12 to 18 months, typically.
If it's expedited, yeah, it's from filing, it's 12 to 18 months from the date you file the application.
Oh wow! Okay.
If it's not expedited, it's 3 to 5 year average, and these vary around. For patents, there's no such thing as one international patent. You do have international applications, but patents are based on a country, so each country has a patent, and so.
Gotcha.
They're different timelines for other countries depending on which area. But I deal with the US for averages. They post their timelines on the internet, so it's easy to kind of track that.
Very cool. Yeah, it's just something the 3 to 5 year is something I had in my mind, just I've heard people say in other conversations. And then of course the patent pending covers you for what, 18 months, I think, or something like that.
Well, so the patent pending will take you through so there are two types of patents. One is a 15-year term, a design patent, a utility patent is 20-year terms. And your patent pending starts from the day you file.
The day you file. Okay.
So if you file today, you got patent pending until you either give up, say uncle, or you get a patent. And once you get the patent, then it shifts from patent pending to patent granted. Then you can, once it's granted, you can enforce it against any infringers. But once it's pending, you can put notice, put people on notice that you have a pending patent for your invention, your product, whatever it is, and you can your service, and you can let people know you have a patent pending, and so that the moment that it's granted, you can enforce against any infringers.
So I have heard, I've had colleagues and others I know in the community that have basically file patents, not necessarily for the intention of getting the patent, but for the protection, I guess, of the patent pending, to keep them off long enough to where they can get funded enough to not really, I guess, care about it. But I'm not sure if that's a tactic used or not.
So there are strategies where that is used. I've worked with some companies that there is a hidden patent called provisional application, which gives you 12 months. And I know companies that have serially filed a number of provisionals year after year, and they convert them to public patent applications, but they request that they not be published until the patent is granted. So they have all these pending patents, but they're not public. And so that buys them some time. Doesn't stop somebody from reverse engineering if you're selling a product, but it does keep the patent out of public view. And that is, some people want to, amass this war chest of patents. It's like patents are like paper stock. It's an investment or an asset that really only has value once you have the commercial enterprise has value. So, like a stock, penny stock isn't worth anything until the company generates enough revenues that the stock price goes up. It's more. Sure. And so the same thing is true with your patent. you can have patents. You've spent this money on patents. Once your company has certain revenues, then your patents have life of their own. They have a commercial value. You can actually take out loans against the patent.
Oh, wow.
You can assign some of your patent rights for money or licensing money for companies or manufacturers. So it's
Or if you're going to sell your company, the patents are part of that purchase.
Well, you can sell the company and keep the patents.
Or you can do that too.
or you can keep the company and sell the patents.
I feel like we need like an extra hour just to talk about patents on here. I got a lot of questions.
Yeah. So that's check us out at Patent Insider at our patentinsider.co. That's our website. Check us out.
Yeah, it's right down at the bottom of the screen right here. If you guys are looking, I'll actually put that in the comments as well, so people can click over to it. But yeah, I mean, personally, I have a ton of questions about the whole process and how companies can utilize it, and I'm definitely connected with a group that I run here or help run here. It's called it's basically our technology council locally, but a great source for you, I would think. There's a lot of technologists in there, a lot of government contractors, ex-NASA like engineers. A lot of them have patents, but I'll connect you with that group. But yeah, anyone has questions about anything with patents, I'd assume reach out to Tariq here. I'll post his website here in a second. Real quick, Tariq, before we start to wrap up, I guess, what's your kind of growth plans? What does next year look like? What's 5 years look like? I know me and you have chatted here recently,
right.
But what's the plans? I know you're having a good year, had a good quarter, it sounds like, but where is your company going, and what can we expect?
Yeah, we have a vision to in the next 3 years to be, a high 7-figure company. Right now, we started off in 2017, a low 5-figure company, barely trying to figure it out, and we've moved to a 6-figure company, and we're still in that range now, but we are looking aggressively. Our goals for this year probably still be a 6-figure company. Maybe next year still high 6 figures, and then our 3-year mark for doing 2023. To hit the 7 figures and beyond, and that's our goal. We want to. I'm part of a group that says, basically happy legal practitioners make more money, and when you're happy, when you're able to pay the bills, then you're also able to in a better space to help your client. If you're thinking about the client like, oh my God, I hope I get this client so I can keep the lights on, you're not going to do a very good job. So yeah. Part of, if I challenge, startups and business owners, even our clients, I say that if you really believe in what you're doing, then you should want to be successful to a point where the money is not the issue. You want to, what you're doing is the issue. The journey is the issue. The impact you're making is going to be the issue. And I think that you have to be very intentional about it. We just had a write-up in a local magazine here in Baltimore, really a national magazine, and a newspaper. And it's one of the things I remember saying is talking about if you care about something, you have to be intentional about it. And a lot of times we get our goals, our aspirations, our vision for things out front, but we're not taking care of the financial aspect, the things that put us in a position to go after what we want, what we're passionate about. So I think, being a mature business, you learn to do those things in an intentional way and set the goals, set the systems in place, bring on the right people, make changes when you need to get new people, but do the things you need to do to keep that going. And I think that's something that we so that you get a little bit of that, maybe some coaching in there too with what we would provide, or encouragement to make the decisions, because there's no point in getting a patent if you have no intention of being a mature business and you have no intention of leveraging the value of what. If you just think you're going to file a patent, like I had a guy, he said, I just want to get it and hang it on my wall and frame it. And I was like, man, if you got that much money to throw away to hang it on your wall, be my guest. But the whole point of a patent is it's a patent. The patent office is in the Department of Commerce, which is, commercial. They're saying that we're giving you this because we think you're going to make a commercial contribution to society, to our country. So this is why you're getting a patent. So that's the whole purpose. It's commerce driven. It's profit driven. It's capitalism. It's capital driven. So you have to, if you're not driven by that in your pursuit of it, then it may not be the thing for you.
No, so I love what you just had to say. I think, yes, one thing, if you're not growing, you're dying. So as a company and a leader, you got to take care of the company, which takes care of the people, my employees, your employees, and the team. And then, financially stable means if I'm focused on how am I going to pay the bills, how am I going to hire this other person, do I have to let someone go? Our attention's not on the client and the success that we're generating for them. It's on all these other problems that we have to deal with. If you're financially sound, you can reinvest in processes, extra people, better people, more experience, training, certifications, all that stuff, and say, how do we get better at doing this service and continue to grow? And I think the other thing is, by you doing that, you're creating opportunities for everyone in your organization. If you stay small and just don't ever grow, well then the people you hire really don't have a chance to grow into a career and have other opportunities. Now, their opportunities might be pay, but it could be time off, vacations, leadership. There's all kinds of different things people are driven by. But so I love that. So yeah, you got to be financially secure and mature in order to do the good work you're going to do for your clients. And so, there's actually a study somewhere. It's like 4%. Only 4% of the businesses make it to $1 million in revenue, which is insane.
Right.
So there's not many businesses that do that. And so, you're well on your way. I don't think you're going to have a problem. I know you're going to make it. So, but it's, and then after that, the 10 million, the number drops drastically. So yeah, but you can just tell, you just talking to you, and I know that's our goal is to grow to be at 100 million by 2030. And
so that's the number. That's the number written on my vision board right there.
There you go.
So yeah.
Bam. So those are the kind of people that make it, right? The people that are like, this is where I'm going, and you can either go with me or I'm going to leave you in the dust. And you're thinking the right way. So I like it.
I wrote that down in 2017 when I started, so I had no idea I was going to get there at that time. But yeah, I wrote it. It definitely best on the vision board, and now I see it. I see a path to it.
That's awesome.
So,
well, Tariq, I appreciate you talking with me today. Your business is really cool. I just like the whole. Check out his website, everybody. Seriously, I like your blog is what's it called?
Patent Insider Secrets.
Yeah, Patent Insider Secrets. I just like kind of the play off of kind of your background, and it's not just a play off. It's true, but you have the insider knowledge, and you're going to be more helpful probably than anyone else they're going to talk to. So, and not to mention his team, the people he's affiliated with, also have that same background and experience. So if you want to get your patent pushed through, you want to make sure you got a good idea that's going to be commercializable, I guess. Then you got to give them a call. I think it's your best bet. So, Tariq, anything else you want to add before we get offline?
I'll say thank you for the opportunity with the Managing Partner Podcast. You all do a wonderful job at marketing, especially for law firms and for the legal market, to really focus and give platforms opportunities to really do the job of marketing, which is to get the right person at the right time and the right frame of mind in front of at the table to make a decision so that you can really help more people who say to close more deals. Yeah, that's part of the internal system, how, close sales, stuff like that. But on the other side of it, you're really putting people that you're connecting them with the right mindset. And then they're there and they're able to connect and move forward. So if you're in the the legal space and you're looking to get the marketing done, then this is Array is the way to go.
I appreciate that, and we'll be working together in the future here. And yeah, to that point, Tariq, is people are out there that need your help, right? And there's people out there that need my help. I mean, there's other law firms that have different clients that need their help. Who they're going to go to depends on if you're there or not, right? So, but if you can help your customers and you're going to be the best probably for them because of what you do, then it only makes sense to try to get in front of as many of them as possible because you're going to do them a good service. And if not, they're going to find a competitor who probably is not going to be as helpful to them. It's going to take much longer. They're probably not going to be as insightful. And so you're almost doing them a disservice by not marketing to them. So That's one way to kind of think about it. They're going to go with somebody, or they'll be deterred. Maybe they'll be deterred from pursuing the patent and their dream and idea, because there's a lot of negative people out there that say, oh, well, a patent is impossible. It takes 3 to 5 years. It's going to cost you so much money. And I hear this all the time from people so it's a lot out there like, well, maybe I shouldn't even bother with this idea I have, so I think, having someone like yourself that can talk to and reach out and ask questions and then try to see if, hey, does it make sense, to take it to the next level. Obviously, in your case, you're looking for, some funding behind it, but I'm sure you'll take questions and
well, I mean, everybody has to, we have a process that, whatever stage you are, we still, if you're a startup, you're still working on your funding, there are entry points for you to, us to be able to help you. And, that's where we started. That's where we're still, a lot of our clients are still there. So there are definitely ways to help you, but you never know if you don't reach out. And so you click on the link on our website. There's a space at the bottom to, tell us about what you're interested in doing and schedule. We have free, consultations, and you can check in with us, and then we can get you set up, and you can kind of see how we can help you.
I'm going to put the link right now in the comments. Everybody can check that out. And there we go. So the link's in the comments. You guys check it out. And that's all we got today. Tariq, thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for being on the show. Everyone, tune in. We'll be posting pieces of this episode on social media. It'll be up on our podcast, up on our website. And so if you're tuning in later, we appreciate you listening. If anyone needs any marketing, your law firm, you need help, or if you're interested in being a guest on this podcast and you run a law firm, you're a managing partner, please reach out to me. You can go to arraylaw.com and have a good afternoon. So, Tariq, thank you so much again.
Thanks, Kevin.
And I'll talk to you soon.